Hello, my good people. You are welcome to this great channel where breaking stories across Nigeria and the world are brought to the comfort of your homes. Before I proceed, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you will always be the first to be notified when we publish new stories. Now, let me lead you to the crux of the discussion. Yes, if you have been following the politics of Nigeria, you will agree with me that there are only three political gladiators that have been giving President Bola Tinubu and the APC sleepless nights. These gladiators include Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Listen to the respected politician and scholar, Professor Udenta Udenta.
There. Let's talk about how some people say that President Bola Tinubu has smarted people like Atiku Abubakar, Jonathan, Obi, and all of that.
In what sense?
Do you think that they
sense?
could actually measure up to this president who many say is the first politician, real-time politician to become president in 2027?
Politics is convulsive in its fluid movement. We don't know where we are today. We cannot predict where we are today. We can predict where you are in the next 2, 3, or 4 months. In the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, forces will realign. Except these politicians have died off. I don't think they've died away. Those even are displacing. Politicians are ghosts. Always to tell people, it can never pin them down in a place. But the moment they sense the weakening of this bloated, glutinous body, they begin to take a walk. And don't forget again, there's some other parties waiting in the wings. Take NNPP, for example. You dislodged the entire apparatus of APC. You humiliated the sitting minister. He didn't even give a soft landing. You just asked the state chairman of the party, get away, everybody run. The governor is coming in. They're human beings. They're waiting in the wings. Primary elections will come and go. Many, 70-80% will not even smell it. Other parties will open their arms and say, come back to us. We
That's
know.
for those who will lose tickets.
Of course, that is what happens. So you find an APC champion in Enugu State becoming a PDP champion, or an ADC champion, or an ADA champion. That happens, so you don't even know the contours of and dynamics of this power that is evolving to 2027. Run on the basis of record, the president is toast, because there's nothing. Even the World Bank, talking about the macroeconomic stability, said he grew poverty beyond Buhari's level, from 133 billion to 139 million.
But politically, Udenta, I mean,
Oh,
this
yes.
someone you've worked with. I mean, shouldn't you be giving Tinubu some flowers? I mean, as someone who has been able to come this far, despite what happened ahead of 2023.
On various stages, I gave him credit. Even a few days ago, I said, in 2003, he was last man standing. He didn't fold over. The defenders unleashed war on him, took away local government apparatus he created, seized the money the way they've done with Osun State, who is still going nowhere, who is in court challenging. That's ancestral, base of several powerful figures in the West there. Even our young governor, Makinde, is standing firm with the convention of his party. The governor of Bauchi State, the chairman of the governors forum, President Bola Ahmed, received the president via the vice president just some few days ago. And later I said, my party is my party, I'm going nowhere. So you can respect a sitting president and the apparatus of governance, the center, be loyal to a party. Bola Tinubu did it 2003. I gave him kudos for that. He didn't only stop at Lagos, he grew. My worry is the chicken-hearted, godless and cowardly governors who will not take that template.
Well, there are still about 3 of them that we hear
I'm
that
saying,
are going.
yes, I'm giving them the description. Who will not take that template? Who said, Mr. President, stop pressing us. Nobody pressed you in 2003. You stood firm as opposition. You survived it. You grew even the brand in your zone. Allow us where we are. We are part of Nigeria. We're not an appendage of the federal. And for the case of the governor of Enugu State, who talked about the Southeast denying, APC, the PDP, then the Southeast, the presidency, it's going to come of it. Let's trace the history. 1999, we were part of the conversation post-Abacha, post-Abiola. What brought Obasanjo and not Ekwene? Seeing the presidency, ultimately went to every state in the Southeast. At the time, the powerful deputy president, powerful deputy speaker, at the time, chairman Senate Committee on Works, House Committee on Works, not to talk of SGF, not to talk of the coordinating minister of the economy with international global acclaim, central bank governor. Under Obasanjo presidency, and Igbo's son was even presumed to be the most powerful for 8 years, if you remember the name I'm talking about.
Yeah,
for 8 years. For 8 years. Doing and undoing. And beyond that, the Ejika was the first army chief since 1966. 2 IGPs, Okiro and Onovo. And then the presidency, of course, is for you to contest with other groups and say, how do you cut tier deals? How do you reach compromises to get it? We've not gotten it. But their son was closed by in 2023. Did any of these governors back him? Did they say, oh, hello, this man is not pulling all the weight across the country. Let us support him. He's coming 2027, and these same governors and ministers are telling him, stay away. The job is settled for another.
Well, they said they want to go to the center to actually
now,
get this ticket ahead of 2010.
The question I ask yourself is, I wish we have all the more time and have people to fact check me.
Yeah.
Enugu State and KB, which one is performing better? Yes, when this is of development.
Yeah.
Enugu State. And possibly...
Yeah, but when you are the center,
you know,
there are some benefits
I'm
that
saying,
you get,
if you're
which
getting,
he, as the only PDP governor, seems to be missing.
The only way you can get it is when you look at the performance of the states, of the governors already getting it. Kebbi State is getting it. Katsina is getting it. Possibly other states I can't remember now are getting it who are APC. I'm asking you, are they doing better than PDP controlled states who are not getting whatever? It's something you are getting that is not constitutional. Is that what they're talking about? You mean there's some money the presidency packages and gives to people under the table?
No,
I'm asking, I'm listening.
I'm
saying there's a constitution they have that is federal in nature. I'm not a fetish of constitution. I don't believe fetish. It's not the constitution. You know, it's not a fetish. A governor has means and ways of getting constitutionally prescribed money, beginning from IGR, which you have to develop. Then what is meant for you as allocation, then other special intervention funds due to you. If APC governors, from what we hear, it may be a lie, it may be rumor, it could be a allegation, are getting something under the table. And people are being lured to come and get something under the table. As I said, verify, find out. If that is not the truth, then if your state, you are doing better, better indices of development, than the state at the center, where you are running to, what are you going there to do?
Very interesting perspective. And so in all of this, as we head towards 2027, I want you to talk about the potential opposition presidential candidates that may emerge, maybe to challenge President Bola Tinubu, who is, I mean, it's given, though he hasn't said he's going to seek second time yet, but of course we all know everybody.
Oh, you mean the president?
Yeah.
He can't be doing what he's doing except seeking second time.
Well, he hasn't said
at
so.
At the time, I was among those, I can credit myself with being among those that put a check on that rampaging move to remove the vice president to even be ahead of time. They went to his zone and said, he will not even run with the president. We're not even giving you the so-called endorsement until the governor of Burundi said, no, if you don't give Shetima endorsement with the president for a second time, APC is gone in the Northeast.
Yes.
Even the Villa, the same thing, until the convention already given to the president, he will determine who his vice will be. People like us, loud-mouthed, came out on stage and said, this is awful, this is immoral, this is unethical. That's why they support that. I know they're looking for somebody somewhere. For somebody in the Northwest. Some people even mentioned to me before I came on this studio, if you're coming on studio, look at Yari, Abdulaziz Yari of Zamfara. Watch that person. I don't know whether there's anything there. There could be something there. Okay, that's another matter. But then for the answer to the question, it's simple. On stage, I said, if PDP holds its convention decently, even with all these people escaping, like nomads, and then come out smaller, but cohesive and potent, and the former president picks the ticket, he's the president, he's toast.
Who's the former president?
Jonathan? Yes, of course. He has not said so.
Well,
I'm just saying that he has not said so.
Yeah.
Next to him, for me, will be P2P.
You think that an OB will go back to the PDP?
Politicians, as I said, are calculating human beings. They're looking for opportunities and possibilities. Politics is a game of power. It's out of the possible. If you have an PDP convention, post-convention, and say the former president doesn't want to do it, and it's dangled before it be, and he doesn't see any other platform better than that, you will take it. You know what you do? You infuse more dynamism, more energy. You bring that radical, obedient spirit into it. So if I find a combination of the irrepressible obedient movement, if I find the domain of historical institutions of the Southeast, if I find the urban, warriors who are bitter, and the rest of the country who want change. Well, if you build that coalition,
you will have to battle with the likes of Wiki and all of that. I mean, isn't the reason why they are there because, I mean, they talk here and there that OB doesn't want to stand for a primary election. So if he does decide to go back to the PDP, I mean, just like Jonathan is saying, he has to be given an automatic ticket. Do you foresee that happening?
Somebody told you that?
Do you foresee that
We
happening?
are not even there yet. First and foremost, let the party come out of the convention. I wish and pray.
Well, it's been zoned to the south.
That's why they even zoned it to the south. Because when they ask that question about whether the president will contest, precisely the reason the party, PDP, knows. The chairman of the governors forum, what they call it, the BOT chairman, Barbara, Bala Mohammed, and the rest of them, they know ultimately that this power has to go to the south. That sense of moral impulse that the party lacked in 2015, even like the last cycle, is what they want to redeem. It's a strategic calculation. And what the president wants to do, shut down the political south and neutralize it. If you have almost all the governors in the south and still say, oh my God, I'm only man standing here, let them not levy political war and I can face them. Because the North Central is much more, pluralities there and diversities that anybody can meander here and there. If you have an Obi or a Jonathan, that's a checkmate. If Obi runs election, PDP or whichever party he takes on the platform will sweep the south. They know it. Mba knows it, others know it.
You think so?
It is clear.
I mean, with all the federal might and all of that,
so
that
these
guys have
are we on
center.
stage talking about federal might now? Okay, the new INEC chairman is possibly deployed to do this with the federal might, or the police, or the army, or the DSS, or the people,
I mean,
or the mandate.
Nigerian politics
I
better
don't know.
than
I don't know.
Now, a whole lot of people who are incumbents would deploy the machinery of the state to ensure
now,
that the state works for them.
So clearly now on stage, we are now having a conversation where an APC in a shambolic performance form, growing poverty in the land, with banditry and terrorism, eating to the soul of the nation, ungoverned spaces exploding, but federal might is available. New INEC chairman is coming with a brief. The DSS and the police are available. The army may even shadow, and then the people's will is repressed. That is a dark scenario, dystopian scenario for Nigerian politics. The people will resist politically, constitutionally, and legally any shenanigan on the part of a failed and failing presidency. If you find a situation where a concourse of forces bind together to rescue this nation from this throwback into what I call a hybrid regime that is competitively authoritarian, illiberal in nature, and non-performing, underperforming at least, you have bright spots of resistance, either a former President Jonathan or Peter Obi, for example, because we're talking about the South now. It's a walk in the park.
All right.
The president is toast.
What if an Atiku decides to run and then you have an Obi and then you have a Jonathan? Wouldn't this weaken the opposition and then President Tinubu will use the opportunity to scale through because the opposition divides its votes?
We now look at the landscape. How many parties are in contention? You have an ADC who has picked up the ticket. PDP survived its convention. I mean, that's stronger than it was 6 months back. Who has the ticket? And then APC. Possibly an ADA waiting in the wings. We don't know what happens to ADC and the other opposition parties. It is too early to determine how many will be in this race because we don't know whether they are.
As been in the politics, what will you advise this opposition?
I will tell you.
Because Nigerians are saying let them band together, but it looks like everybody's just going his own way.
There is time. I'm going to tell people. We are hearing murmur that they want to push the timetable. You just somebody floated a kite to November next year for one reason, some good reasons. For me, that should be 2031 for some good reason. Don't use state resources to prosecute a matter. Let that the courts weigh in with litigation, complete it or to spiritual level before you don't take power and they begin to govern. I understand that. But for this time around, people believe that the time is now too short in terms of the calculus, in terms of the mentality of power and politics and its dynamics, what people want. If you do that 2031, fantastic. Now, if you have enough time to say March next 2027 for election, the implication is this. Politicians weigh their options. I can bet you, no Northerner can beat this sitting president. Whoever, by whichever name you describe it, and no Northerner can even beat a strong candidate from the South. You know the reason? Zoning restrains the appetite of power. If you have the president alone with a Northerner, and there's no P2B, and there is no Jonathan in the race, he is won. Because no Northerner will take 10% of the vote in the South. That means 17 states are gone already. But the Southerner can do well in FCT, can do well in Nasarawa, can do well in Plateau, in Benue, in Taraba, in Kaduna, in some of those states there, which you think are a lot more diverse, plural, and inclusive than, say, states of singularities, what they call the Fulani corridor and the Kanuri corridor. But no Northerner is going to take a state in the South when there is no Southerner there. Whoever by name, I don't want to talk about name, but nobody, however discovers. And I said, debate this matter with me. That is why the president and his people are worried about the prospect of Obi or Jonathan. Because they want the South to be clean. And the clean is to pulverize this cowardly elite, most of the governors and senators say, you fall over on us.
All right, all right.
And if he follow on us, the implication is that we have the South together. We cannot leave the political war on the North. That's not going to happen. There will be a strong Southern contestation of power. Not only the president, one or two other will be in that mix.
Wow, the professor has given a detailed breakdown of what is likely to happen that will prevent Tinubu from winning the 2027 presidential election. Udenta argued that there is no any credible politician from the north that can defeat Tinubu in 2027. He seemed to have underrated the popularity of politicians like Atiku Abubakar, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, Babagana Zulum, and others. Also, the professor has forgotten that the politicians in the north are the most formidable. They are more principled in terms of cooperation. If the North decides to endorse one candidate from the North, they can give the candidate a block vote. The Northern politicians know the game of politics more than one can ever imagine. The Northern politicians can easily negotiate with some Southern politicians to form alliances. It happened in the early days of Nigeria's independence, where Sir Ahmadu Bello and Abubakar Tafawa Balewa formed alliances with Akintola to thwart the efforts of Obafemi Awolowo. Presently, those alliances have started with Atiku Abubakar, David Mark, Nasir El-Rufai, Rotimi Amechi, Rauf Aregbesola, and others coming together in the ADC to challenge President Tinubu in 2027. Do you agree with the perspective of Professor Odenta? Do you also agree with my perspective? I want to hear from you in the comment section below. Like and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of our interesting news stories.